This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Righty, there we go. By the way, the Texans are actually leading the Niners 7-3 at halftime. So, at least all of it is not a disaster today. Maybe the pick will get a little better for the Miami Dolphins and the Niners won't win today. All right, let's bring him aboard. Omar Kelly on Twitter at Omar Kelly. He's a must follow. More importantly, subscribe to the South Florida Team Channel and support guys like Omar Kelly and all the great men and women who cover South Florida. There you go. Oh, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm obviously not good with this stinking loss. I mean, it was just a pathetic loss in every level.
I mean, not
Coaching,
necessarily.
defense, Tua was terrible. Defense,
You got
embarrassing.
outclassed. You got
Got rolled
outclassed.
over. Yeah. You
I
know,
mean, they're
go ahead.
there's a difference in terms of performance and execution that you see from the playoff caliber teams, the teams that have been there, done that. The Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tennessee Titans. There's a different level of physicality that those teams have that you just haven't been able to show up for those games.
Yeah.
And
How
you
about
know,
intelligence? How about intelligence, Omar? Because they had third and short or third and manageable a lot for Ryan, and for Tua it was third and long all the time, third and 9, third and 10, and they did a good job of making sure that the passes that they needed from Ryan weren't going to be difficult ones. Yet they did not manage the game the same way on the Miami side, and even when Duke had some success early, they didn't stick with it at all. They didn't bother to say, "Hey, maybe we got something with Duke here." They just didn't keep going, and it
I don't
kind
know
of
if that's fair because Duke only had two, I believe they were both
you're right.
16 12-yard runs, and
14,
that
14,
created
14,
first,
yeah,
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 that created first downs. Really, the issue to me was the third, and we didn't see any third and manageables. And that's a byproduct of a lot of things. But two is a better quarterback. One when he has a lead, and two when he's got third and manageables. Now,
definitely.
they were three of two pointed out. In my first three drives, I was 3 and 9, 3 and 11, 3 and 9. You
Yep.
know, so 3 of 12 today on third downs. You in a dream world, let's say the situations were reversed, the roles were reversed. They Tennessee ran the ball efficiently, effectively, 40 attempts. Now a lot of those are in the late game, but hell, they nearly had 100 yards in the first half. They had 84 on 19
Yeah,
carries.
yeah. The Foreman stuff is not late game stuff. The Foreman yards
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah,
your ass. It's the Hilliard stuff. I don't care about that. The 132 yards that Foreman got, those were I
yeah.
spooked you and I ran right over your ass
Yeah,
yards. You
and,
know what I
and
mean?
then on top of that, Tannehill, we could say whatever we want about him, and we had this debate and discussion and argued over it last week, but he's not really a quarterback on one blitz on a heavy amount of times. And they had a great game plan which we have not seen from an opponent facing Miami's Amoeba blitz. They threw screens into it. They moved the pocket on it. And we haven't seen. I couldn't tell you when I saw that approach. I've never seen that approach against this defense. And Miami just didn't figure it out yet. I mean, not that he only threw 18 passes, so it wasn't like he was doing a ton of throwing. But this is just something that Miami hadn't seen yet, and they didn't adjust quickly enough to it.
No, definitely did not. What'd you think of the offensive play calling and stuff overall? Because I thought it was atrocious, and then you started with the trick plays and the desperation plays with Gesicki and even the jabroni brisket play. It actually ended up becoming a good throw, and you got saved by Bud Dupree. But again, it was just a terrible call.
Um,
Kind of went your way. I mean,
I generally do not. I have a rule. I don't criticize play calling. That's just not something that I do because I don't know all the factors and variables. That's something that was taught to me by Bobby Bowden. But what I did find a little troubling is you knew it was likely going to rain all game. You knew it was likely going to rain, and the field was horrible, and it was going to be a slippery turf with rain. And what I found a little interesting, and I think I asked Gesicki this, is they didn't have a rain plan. They didn't have I would think, and this is just my thought process, that if you know going into a game, this is why you have all these experts and geniuses. If you know going into a game that it's going to be a wet ball game, a slick surface game, I would think I would have a game plan for troublesome footing plays. And I know it's only a limited amount of time during the week, and you're not even at the facility, and they're only practicing and whatnot. But I kind of have like 10 plays that I'd say, okay, these are my slick surface plays, and they didn't have that. And maybe other teams don't have that or don't go into the game plan thinking that, oh, the conditions in the field is going to be horrible. I need to change up my game plan and my approach. But you would see there was a clear period in the game where they changed up their approach because they realized the field is slick. We can't get movement on it, especially when it was raining.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. Listen, there's no intelligence in the Dolphin coaching staff.
I don't know about that.
On the, listen, man, I get
I mean, they were geniuses during the 7-game winning streak, and now they're idiots. I don't fall into that.
I never called them geniuses.
I know yes.
I have been incredibly consistent. Okay,
yes.
I'm not a flow guy, and I'm not an offensive staff guy. Okay, so for me, this is nothing new here. What I've been saying, Flo's not.
Hold on. Let's get off the offensive staff because the play callers didn't drop the ball 3 times. That wasn't on them. That's on Tua.
Tua has no excuses today, bro. Tua, I'm not giving Tua any breaks whatsoever today. He was just as bad as his coaches.
Yeah, and to be honest, and I don't know if you can see this from the TV copy, but I'm here at the stadium, and a lot of the pressures and a lot of the sacks, nobody's open. No, nobody.
Oh, yeah, they get no separation. Yeah, no, you're right.
Nobody's open. Everybody's covered. They had a great game plan for Jalen Waddle. Took him out of the game. What did Waddle have? Three receptions. Now the record is.
But eventually that was going to happen, right? Somebody was going to figure out a way to take his ass out of the game. They saw what happened the week before when he was out, how it took the offense out of its form, and so they said we got to do the same thing this week and take him out of the game and force him to hit other people. You know what I mean? And he did get some separation downfield for that one pass. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's the only one on that receiving core. That receiving core, that's the other thing that needs to get drastically upgraded next year with they got Waddle. Now they got to find another guy or two with some speed like Waddle.
List of things that need to be addressed in one off season. It's a lengthy list for a team that's 8 wins. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
So why is it that when you look at right now the team overall, you tell me, why would I bring back Flo? He can't build an offensive staff. Why would I bring him back?
One, you don't know that. He built an offensive staff last year and then fired it. So
again, you need to dig a little bit more. The front office helped him bring Gailey over.
Oh my God!
He's scared of.
We're not doing this, Joe. We're not doing this. We're not. We're just not. We're not. We're not. You know who I give responsibility, credit, and criticism for a coaching staff? Brian Flores. You know why I give responsibility, criticism for decisions made in free agency in the draft? Chris Grier. You know why I delineate them and separate them and give responsibility, credit, praise, criticism to them in their different facets, because that's what they're responsible for. And what you want to do is you want to mix it up, and when it's good it goes one way, and what's bad it goes another way. And
Wait a minute.
no, 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 no.
No. Hold on a second. You can't say that, and then you can't let me rebuttal. So
All right.
you think Jacoby Brissett is here because Grier signed him and Grier wanted him? Come on.
I think decisions are made jointly, and who has the final say in them? It's Chris Grier. And on top of that,
you got your dancing shoes on.
On top of that, you know who? Name me another backup quarterback that would have come here and signed here.
Well, they had
for that money.
His name was Fitzpatrick. They had him here,
and he made $10 million and was given the starting job for the Washington football team. So he wasn't on the table.
I know, but you actually had a competent one.
No. Okay,
but anybody's better than Jabroni Brissett. Come on, bro. Come on.
I'm not going to argue that, but I'm not going to allow you to put that on Brian Flores. Just like I'm not going to allow you to put that.
Illinois was here for him. You don't think that Justin Coleman's here for him. You don't
it's
think
a factor. It's a factor. But
you didn't think Adam Gase wasn't a general manager, yet he was bringing his former players in too. So that's
what coaches do. And you know what Chris Grier will tell you his job is? His job is to give my coach the players that he feels fits his system best, so that he can have the tools that he needs to win. That's Chris Grier from his mouth. From his mouth. Now, do I agree and believe in his approach and being a GM, the HNIC in charge of the organization? No, I do not. But I know that he thinks that is what his job is. And mind you, he's worked for the Dolphins for 20 goddamn years, and he's seen it done by the Bill Parcells, by the Jeff Irelands, by the Dennis Hickey, who almost fired him, by the way. Or who wanted to fire him and was talked out of it, and by Mike Tannenbaum. So he has seen the job. If this is the way that he wants to do the job, who the hell am I to say you're wrong for it?
Okay. All right. So you wouldn't make
I don't agree with it.
You wouldn't make a change at coaching at the end of the year. You think that
Hell no. Coach, before...
You think Flo can find the offensive staff he needs?
I don't know that. I'm not willing to say that. I'm not even sure he'll make changes. Now, if he doesn't change the offensive line coach, oh yeah, you're gonna be fired soon.
Have you asked inside that building about him?
Who? The offensive line coach?
Yeah, about Pepe Le Pew.
You just wanted to call him Pepe Le Pew.
I mean, but have you asked him? No, because if you know a couple people in the building, you will get entertaining, responses about him. I'm just saying, listen, ask.
I don't ask about dead men walking. I like, at a certain point, and I'm not even blaming all of that on him. I'm not. I can't. It's it is what it is. It's a trash dumpster.
No, but you're 1,000% right. We really can't blame Jean-Pierre, or whatever his name is. We really can't blame him. Right. We really can't blame him because it's not his fault that he wasn't ready for this job. It's really more Flores' fault for high. It's like the Ted Ginn.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's like Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn had a hell of a career in the NFL. Now, it's not his fault that the Dolphins thought he was the number 9 overall pick in the draft. That's the Dolphins' fault. But Ted Ginn was a good player in the NFL for a long time. Wasn't a great player or anything, but he had a really good career. Any of us would love to have the Ted Ginn career.
He had a good career for a first-round pick. I don't see why he couldn't have played with Brandon Marshall. I still say that.
First-round pick, you're right. Maybe a late first-round pick. He might have almost justified a late first-round pick.
He outlasted Nolan Carroll, who was the player that they got when they traded him away to the San Francisco 49ers. Ted Ginn had a longer career than the player that you got the draft pick for, who was a pretty good player as well.
Yeah, he was a good player and a hell of a human being too. Nolan Carroll
Yeah,
was
still
really,
is. Still is
really
good. Still a good dude.
yeah, no, I know. But a really good dude from what I remember. But overall, I can't blame the offensive line coach because he's going to take the job. I mean, he's got to take the job. But
It was a
really,
promotion, and you
this
know
season,
what? They felt like he was ready. I don't know where it failed. I can't answer you where that failed. But what I can tell you is that and this is to answer your question on why Flo can't be fired and won't be fired, and you're just barking up the wrong tree. Every area in this team is has been fixed or is being fixed by Flores and his staff, with the exception of the offensive line.
or the offense. The offense is
I mean,
not good. They don't have good offensive coordinators. Come on.
name me five good players on the offense.
No,
Name
no,
five.
that doesn't matter. I watched Chan Gailey with little offense back in the.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's fair. That's fair. That's
I'm not.
fair.
I'm not
But
talking about this Chan. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about this Chan Gailey. I'm talking about the first go around with Chan Gailey.
that's
Okay,
fair. That's
it was
fair.
was a
It's
like
fair.
Freddie something was like their number one receiver. He wasn't. I mean, it was a really great guy, by the way, super funny as hell on Fridays. But he wasn't like they didn't have a great receiving core. He worked magic with that offense at
Yeah,
times.
absolutely. No
So
question about it.
I
But
can
but I
you
but
guys
I
get
argue to you. I will. I'm not arguing your point. You make a very valid point. It's true. It's fair. Even last year, I would say they have better weaponry this year than they have last year
yes,
to finish the season,
you're right.
and he made it work. But I will argue to you, there are five guys on this offense that would start right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, you're right. You're right. There are
Like
very few guys that you would use in other teams.
five guys. Like our starting running back here
No, no,
got
no.
waived by Jacksonville or Carolina. I think it might be Carolina.
Yeah, if you have a good running back core, all the running backs here are number threes,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's what you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
basically. So yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Gesicki, Waddle are obviously guys that can play on most offenses, but yeah,
Some
there aren't a lot of those.
I'm gonna argue the Gesicki one, depending on what team you're. Tennessee is interested, by the way, so that might be where he ends up. Reunion with
Well,
Tannehill.
they're probably a lot smarter than these idiots that they take them off the field and they don't know how to use. It's as
He
someone
can't
said,
play it. He
as
can't
someone,
play in the RPO, bro.
yeah, but you don't
He
run.
can't play in the RPO.
You can't run. So who
No,
cares about
you do, you do want run,
no,
and you should try to run.
okay, well, no, 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 no. That's not what you said in this game here. No, 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 no. When I
That,
told you that Duke Johnson had some success, you said
no, no, no,
no.
no, 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 no.
You gotta
Duke Johnson averaged 7 yards a carry. They ran the ball 4.6. It was the deficit that prevented them from running.
no,
Let's
no,
not
but
go there.
no. Early on, they gave up on him. They didn't give it to him. They didn't keep giving it to him, so they
You're
could keep
right. You're right. But
confident.
the conditions and the elements and the score and tons of factors. Tons of
But those factors are perfect for him: the rain, the wind, all that kind of stuff. That's why you want to run. Look, dude, I'm the guy
not a
that doesn't
14
believe.
point deficit in the third quarter.
I'm the guy that doesn't believe Duke is an every down running back. And yet 2 weeks ago he got 100 yards. And early in this game, it was like, well, maybe he can do it again. I'm like, oh, hey, I would love to be wrong again. And I didn't
And
get
they
that.
have 4 carries. They have 4 carries in the second half. So
I know,
four,
man.
four,
Well, no, but
four,
second
four,
half, it's 17-3 at halftime. It's still not completely out of control.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. It's Tannehill is your dad. That's just all it is.
Yep, that's it. Tannehill is Miami's daddy. You're right about that. There's no other way of phrasing it. That's for damn sure. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Trying to explain to the people why Miami couldn't pressure the most sacked quarterback in NFL history.
Okay.
Not NFL history, but you know.
Why'd you think they played so much zone today?
I don't know if it was his own. I mean, they
Oh,
switched it up, man. Its own.
they didn't blitz like they normally do.
No, they didn't because they were playing behind the sticks and down the distance. Their goal with that is to try to get them into third and eights or above, and then they bring that amoeba. But even when they did the amoeba, Miami threw a screen in it, or Miami. Miami threw a screen in it. Tannehill picked it up one time and threw a slant with a with an uncovered
They also got a
AJ
sack.
Brown.
They also got a sack on one of the
They got
blitzes.
they got one sack. One
Yeah,
sack.
Butler blitzed and then he dropped back right away. It was they had 5 guys and they sent Baker as the 5th guy, but then Butler dropped
Yeah,
back
but
afterwards.
when they're generally blitzing and having success, they're sending 7 guys. And 4 or 5 guys are covering. That you couldn't do that against Tannehill. Tannehill would carve you to death because he's going to identify his hots.
I would have rather died that way than die a slow kill. That this one was more painful, actually.
I mean,
I'd rather die
you,
the other way because I think you can at least have a chance at forcing him into mistakes. And
with
maybe
Tannehill throwing for 300 yards, nah, you can't take that.
I don't know. That's the thing. I would have liked to take that chance. That's the thing. All right, you're awesome as always. Did you have a good New Year's?
Oh yeah, I was home. I was home safe.
Nothing better than that, dude. Nothing better than
Yeah,
that.
man.
Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly, and catch him tomorrow morning, getting it done at 10:30. All right,
Oh,
talk to you.
I got a flight that time, so
All right, so we'll catch you in the afternoon. Don't worry about it.
all right,
Okay.
man. I'll let you.
All right, be good. There you go. It's digital. We adjust on digital. That's the beauty.